Hello, everybody. My name is Eric B. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county sheriff, in the state of Tennessee. Today's date is early Sunday morning, January 29th, 2017, time of 55 a.m. Say first thing. First, I say thank to all my family, my support, and continue encouraging and support. Continue to keep myself informed right here in the Memphis tri-state area. I continue to further my education, more college online, pursuing my social career, studying business administration, concentration, marketing, and the music you hear in the background. That's the African nation of Togo. The African nation of Togo. I'm using streaming. And the radio station is Radio Day Nigman. Radio Day Nigman. We use the streaming, and it's the radio station Day Nigman. Sure. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna do my Instagram. So give me a moment, please. Say hello to all my Instagram fans and supporters. My name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, in the county seat of the state of Tennessee. And today's date, early Sunday morning, January 29, 2017, time 4:58 a.m. And the radio station you hear in the background, that's the African nation of Togo. African nation of Togo, and we use a streamer. And the radio stations Radio Dig Nigman. Radio Dig Nigman. Like I said, I thank all my family support on Instagram. I want to take a few moments just first say thank you to God for all his blessings and all his guidance. We have to always give thanks to God. We have to always put God first. And we thank God for all the men and the women that are serving in the United States Armed Forces around the world. And we also want to say thank you to God for all the men and the women that are working in law enforcement. We always keep the families and the men and women in the law enforcement and the families of the men and women in our law enforcement. Keep their families in our thoughts and prayers as well. And as well as we say prayer, we pray for our elected officials and because they have a very challenging job. We trying to make law execute the laws and also trying to interpret the law. And so we thank God for all our elected officials and keep their families in our awesome prayers as well. And continue to put emphasis and focus on continuing to try to address the issue of crime, excuse me, of crime, and also to try to deal with gangs and organized crime. And we thank God that elected officials passed laws such as the Organized Crime Control Act, the Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organizations Act. Both of those laws are very important. They're trying to deal with organized crime and gangs. And we thank God that our elected officials passed laws such as the Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act, which is another effort to address organized crime and gangs. And we thank God that our elected officials passed many other laws, uh, make our society a safe society and our world safe. And we thank God that our elected officials passed a law, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative and the Comprehensive Gang Law. And we thank our elected officials for trying to prevent violence and things of this nature. So we can continue to just thank God and put God first. Put God first. And let me just comment on this Instagram. So right now, I'm getting ready to end my Instagram. So again, thank all my Instagram fans and supporters. They continue to encourage and support. And again, keep God first. And to my next video, take care of yourself, which each and every one of you is very best. Now I'm getting ready to start my Periscope, so give me a moment. Say hello to all my Periscope fans and supporters. Say hello to all my Periscope fans and supporters. My name is Eric D. Johnson. I'm from BrightShine. I'm right here in the city of Memphis, in the county of Sherman, in the state of Tennessee. And today is day, it's early Sunday morning, January 29th, 2017, time 5:08 a.m. And the radio station you hear in the background is the African nation of Togo. African nation of Togo. And we're using streamer. And the radio station is Radio Dignified. Radio Dignified. Radio Dignified. And so, like I said, thank all my Periscope fans and supporters. And start my video. And move my chair. Now, this here is a language distribution map. There's a language distribution map. African language distribution map. It shows you the people that live on the continent of Africa and the language that they speak. I'm turn the radio down. This is a language distribution map. It shows you the people that live on the continent of Africa and the language that they speak. Now we're gonna continue talking about African traditional religion. The African traditional religion is being taught at institutions of higher learning, meaning colleges and universities in sub-Saharan Africa. And we know that being that African traditional religion is being taught in sub-Saharan Africa, you don't hear about any type of group, religious group such as, for example, the Rastafarians or the Black Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about African traditional religion, African traditional religion is being taught at institutions of higher learning in sub-Saharan Africa. And when we look at this map, as you can see, it shows you sub-Saharan Africa. Now, that blue color, it represents the Afro-Asiatic. The yellow color represents the Nilo-Saharan. The dark orange color represents the Niger-Congo A. The light orange color represents the Niger-Congo B, Bantu. And so, well, as you can see, you can look at this. This is the other half of the map. And it shows you that the blue color represents the Afro-Asiatic, the yellow color represents the Nilo-Saharan, the dark orange color represents the Niger-Congo A, the light orange color represents the Niger-Congo B, the Bantu. The green color represents two groups of people. The green color represents two groups of people. The Quay people, they are the pastoralists, and the Sand people are the hunter-gatherers. Over there on the island of Madagascar, that purple lavender color, the Austronesians. The Austronesians are the people that live in Indonesia. And the people that live in Indonesia, they left, migrated from Indonesia and settled, colonized the island of Madagascar. They're not the original inhabitants of the island of Madagascar. Now, this is a language distribution map. Niger-Congo language distribution map. The primary branch of Volta Congo, South Volta Bantu, Bantu beside Bantu, other East Benue Congo, your West Benue Congo, your Quay, your North Volta, Kru, Sanufo, Volta language, your Animan with your Bunji language, your other primary branch, Kordofan, Mandi, Atlantic, and Dogon. The Niger-Congo language distribution map. Your Atlantic branch, Wolo and Fule, your Mandi, Bambare, Malinka, Manika, Danyule, your Kru, your Vera Moore language, your Quay, Bali, Akan, Ewe, your Dogon, your Ajor, your Adaman, your Bunji language, your Baye, Banda, and Zanga, your Kordofani, your non-Bantu, your Yoruba, and Igbo, your Bantu, Fang, Tiki, Lengale, Mongo, and Kondu, Congo, Choki, Lube, Uganda, Rwanda, Rundi, and Sukume, and Kikuyu, and your Bantu, Swahili, Makawe, and Yanje, Bembe, Shone, Tasage, Northern Soto, Zulu, Southern Soto, Kosa, Tiswane, and Dange, Bundu, and there are many other Niger-Congo speaking groups of people that are not even listed on this map. This here is an Afro-Asiatic language distribution map. An Afro-Asiatic language distribution map. Afro-Asiatic. Now, your Afro-Asiatic languages, uh, large language family of several hundred related languages and dialects comprised of about 300 or so living languages, dialects, languages spoken predominantly in the Middle East, North Africa, the Horn of Africa, and parts of the Sahel. Now, the Afro-Asiatic language families usually it could, considered to include the following branches. Excuse me. Your Berber, your Chadic, your Cushitic, your Egyptian, Omatic, and your Semitic. Now, your Berber languages, family of similar and closely related languages and dialects indigenous to North Africa. Now, Berber is spoken by large population in Algeria, Morocco, and by smaller population in Libya, Tunisia, northern Mali, western northern Niger, northern Burkina Faso, Mauritania, and in the Siwa oasis of Egypt. Then you have large Berber-speaking migrant communities have been living in Western Europe since the 1950s. And also, Berber became a constitutional national language of Algeria and also Morocco. Berber is an Afro-Asiatic language. Now, the Berber-speaking population speak one of 6 major varieties of Berber, with at least 2 million speakers in an order of demographic weight: Tashilhit, Kabyle, Atlas Tamizite, Rifian, Shawi, and Tuareg. And that's the Berber language. The Chadic. The Chadic language are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family and spoken in parts of the Sahel. They include 150 languages spoken across northern Nigeria, southern Niger, southern Chad, Central African Republic, and northern Cameroon. Now, the most widely spoken Chadic language is Hasse. Now, the West Chadic, there are 2 branches in the A, the Hasse, Ron, Boli, and Angus language, and B, the Badi, the Wajai, and the Zar language. Your Central Chadic, Bu Madare, there are 3 branches: A, the Bure, Kanwi, Bente language, and B, the Badume, and Musku, and C, Gadar. In your East Chadic, there are 2 branches: A, the Tumac, Nasiri, and Kire; B, the Dangaliat, the Kulu, the Socorro, and you also have your Maasai. That's the Chadic language. Then you have your Cushitic language. The Cushitic language are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family, spoken primarily in the Horn of Africa, Somalia, Eritrea, Djibouti, and Ethiopia, as well as the Nile Valley, Sudan, and Egypt, and parts of the African Great Lakes region, Tanzania, and Kenya. The most widely spoken Cushitic language is Oromo, with about 35 million speakers, followed by Somali, with about 18 million speakers, and Sidamo, with about 3 million speakers. Other Cushitic languages with more than 1 million speakers are Afar, Baya, Somali. One, the language of Somalia is the only Cushitic language according to official status in any country, along with Afar is one of the recognized national languages of Djibouti. Now, the Cushitic language considered the following branches: Bale, North Cushitic, Aga language, Central Cushitic, Highland East Cushitic, Sidamic, Lowland East Cushitic, and Dule language, and Southern and South Cushitic. Egyptian. The language spoken in ancient Egypt was a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. Now, the scholars, they grouped the Egyptian language into 6 major chronological divisions. archaic Egyptian language, your old Egyptian language, your middle Egyptian language, uh, your late Egyptian language, Demotic and Coptic, your Omatic. The Omatic language are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic family spoken in southwestern Ethiopia. The North and South Omatic branches, Nomadic and Somatic, are universally recognized, and that's the Omatic. Now, Semitic languages are a branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family, originating in the Middle East. Semitic languages are spoken by more than 330 million people across much of Western Asia, North Africa, and the Horn of Africa, as well as in the often large expatriate communities in North America and Europe, with smaller communities in the Caucasus and Central Asia. Now, the most widely spoken, excuse, 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 the most widely spoken Semitic languages today: Arabic by 300 million, Amharic by 22 million, Tigrinya by 7 million, Hebrew unknown by 5 million native and non-native speakers, Aramaic by 575,000 to 1 million fluent speakers, and Maltese by 520,000 speakers. Now, Arabic is a Central Semitic language. It was first spoken in the Iron Age, northwestern Arabia, and now is the lingua franca of the Arab world. And also, it is one of 6 official languages of the United Nations. Now, I said Arabic is a Central Semitic language, closely related to the Northwest Semitic languages of Aramaic, Hebrew, Ugaritic, and Phoenician. The ancient South Arabian language and various other Semitic languages of Arabia, such as Dananitic. Now, Arabic usually designates one of 3 main variants: Classical Arabic, Modern Standard Arabic, and Colloquial or Dialectical Arabic. Amharic. Amharic is an Afro-Asiatic language of the Semitic branch. It is spoken as a mother tongue by the Amharic in Ethiopia. The language serves as the official working language of Ethiopia and is also the official or working language of several other states within the federal system. Amharic is the second most widely spoken Semitic language in the world after Arabic. Now, the Rastafari movement, the etymology of the word Rastafari comes from Amharic. Ras Tafari was the pre-regnal title of Haile Selassie I, composed of the Amharic word Ras, literally head, and Ethiopian title, equivalent to Duke, and Haile Selassie pre-regnal name Tafari, meaning Rastafari learned Amharic as a second language they considered to be a sacred language After Haile Selassie's 1966 visit to Jamaica, study circles in Amharic were organized in Jamaica as part of the ongoing exploration of Pan-African identity and culture. So that's Amharic. Tigrinya. Tigrinya is an Afro-Asiatic language of the Semitic branch that is widely. It is the mainly spoken in Eritrea and northern Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa, with around 6,915,000 total speakers. Tigrinya speakers in Ethiopia, which number around about 4,320,000 individuals. So that's Tigrinya. Hebrew. Hebrew is a language native to Israel, spoken by over 9 million people worldwide, of whom over 5 million are in Israel. Historically, it's regarded as the language of the Israelites and their ancestors, although the language is not referred to by the name Hebrew in the Tanakh. Hebrew belongs to the West Semitic branch of the Afro-Asiatic language family. The Hebrew language is the only living Canaanite language left. Now, Hebrew belongs to the Canaanite group of languages. In turn, the Canaanite languages are a branch of the Northwest Semitic family of languages. The Canaanite language or Canaanite dialects are one of the two subgroups of the Northwest Semitic language, the other being the Aramaic language. They were spoken by the ancient peoples of the Canaan region. The Canaanite, broadly defined, include the Israelites, Phoenicians, the Amorites, the Ammonites, Moabites, and Edomites. Now, the Canaanite language or dialects considered North Canaan, Phoenician, and Punic, South Canaan, Hebrew, Ammonite, Moabite, and Edomite. Now that's the Hebrew. The Aramaic is a family of languages or dialects belonging to the Semitic subfamily of the Afro-Asiatic language family. More specifically, it is part of the Northwest Semitic group, which also includes the Canaanite languages such as Hebrew and Phoenician. Now, the history of Aramaic is broken down into three broad periods: Old Aramaic, Middle Aramaic, and Modern Aramaic. Now, Maltese is the national language of Malta and a co-official language of the country alongside English, while also serving as an official language of the European Union, the only Semitic language so distinguished. Maltese is descended from Siculo Arabic, a variety of Arabic that developed in Sicily and was later introduced to Malta between the end of the 9th century and the end of the 12th century. Now that's the Maltese. So again, that's the Afro-Asiatic language family. Now this is a Nilo-Saharan language distribution map. Nilo-Saharan. Nilo-Saharan. Nilo-Saharan language distribution map. Now the Nilo-Saharan languages are a proposed family of African languages spoken by some 50 to 60 million knowledgeable people, mainly in the upper parts of the Chira and Nile rivers, including historic Nubia, north of where the two tributaries of the Nile meet. The languages extend through 17 nations in the northern half of Africa, from Algeria to Benin in the west, from Libya to the Democratic Republic of the Congo in the center, and from Egypt to Tanzania in the east. Major languages, Nilo-Saharan major languages, Luo, Dulo, about 4.4 million. Luo people of Kenya, Tanzania. Kenya's third largest ethnic after the Niger Congo, speaking Agakuyu and Luya. The term Luo is also used for a wider group of languages which include Dulo. The Kanuri, about 4 million, include all dialects, about 4.7 million of the Kanimbu is included, major ethnicity around Lake Chad. The Sanghe, about 3.2 million, all dialects mostly Zame, spread along the Niger River in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger throughout the historic Sanghe Empire, including the former capital Gao and the well-known city of Timbuktu. Tiso, related to the Maasai, about 1.9 million. The Nubians, 1.7 million, all dialects and language of Nubia extending today from southern Egypt into northern Sudan. Lubare, about 1.7 million, 2.2. Ibaringe, Lubare is included. The major Central Sudanian language of Uganda and Democratic Republic of Congo. The Nanda Marwita language, 1.6 million, Kenyan Rift Valley. Lango, 1.5 million, Luo language, one of the major languages of Uganda. The Dinka, 1.4 million, the major ethnicity of South Sudan. The Choli, 1.2 million, another Luo language of Uganda. The Nuer, 1.1 million, the language of the Nuer, another numerous people from South Sudan and Ethiopia. The Maasai, about 1 million, spoken by the Maasai people of Kenya, one of the most well-known African peoples internationally. In Gambe, about 1 million. Central Sudan, the principal language of southern Chad. And Fur, about 500,000. The Penamese language of Darfur province in western Sudan. And Tubu, about 350,000 to 400,000. One of the most northernmost Nilo-Saharan languages extending from Nigeria, Niger, Chad, into Libya. Most Tubu speakers live in northern Chad, close to the Bestine Mountain. Tubu has two main varieties, Daze language and Tide language, and that's the Nilo-Saharan. So as we can see, there are many people that identify as being an African and speaking African languages, and so there we know that there are many people identify as being an African and who speak an African language or dialects. Now, as we've been continuing to talk about African traditional religion, we're gonna continue our read, and we're gonna continue to read from the book titled West African Traditional Religion, written by Dr. Joseph Omasene Ebalelu and Dr. P. Adelumo Dupemo. Book titled African Traditional Religion and Definition, written by Dr. E. Beloja I. Dogu. Book titled African Religion and Philosophy, written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty. Book titled Concepts of God in Africa, written by Dr. John S. M. Beatty. And we're going to continue to put our emphasis and our focus on addressing a very serious issue of crime, first of all, crime in general, and being specific, organized crime and gangs. And take this moment, first we want to give thanks to God. I want to first say thank you to God for all His blessings, because without God's guidance, we as man, you know, being referred to as man, uh, we'll be lost, we'll be unguided, undirected, uh, misled, uh, things of that nature. But we have to first thank God. God uh, should be the most important uh, thing in our life. God should always be first. Put God first. Be number one priority. God. And we want to take this opportunity at this time to say thanks to all the men and women serving in the United States Armed Forces around the world. Them and their families in our thoughts and our prayers. We want to say thank you to all the men and women in law enforcement. Them and their families are in our thoughts, in our prayers. Thank you to all our elected officials, public servants. Them and their families are in our thoughts and our prayers. And all the employees in federal, state, local government is included. Them and their families are in our thoughts and prayers. And there again, we thank God for all His blessings. God, thank you, thank you, thank you, and just thank you. And we're gonna continue to address this issue, crime in general, being specific, organized crime gangs. As you know, uh, the United States government has been has passed laws, passed many laws um, to deal with crime and social issues. For example, the prohibition. Prohibition. Some people, because when some people talk about the law, uh, it may not be specifically stated in the law that it was, uh, to help deal with organized crime and gangs, because in the law it don't specifically say it was about organized crime and gang. But as we know, organized crime gangs, they use alcohol, cigarettes, alcohol and tobacco as a way to fund, as a way to profit. At the, Before prohibition, legally, and then once prohibition became law, it became a black market product that provided organized crime and gangs with a lot of money. And so the United States government uh, knew that they had to enact laws to address organized crime and gangs. As a matter of fact, now the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, October 15, 1970, was an act of Congress sponsored by Democratic Senator John L. McClain and signed into law by the United States President Richard Nixon. The act was the product of two sets of hearings in the Senate: the Select Committee on Improper Activities in Labor and Management hearings of 1957, 1959, and the McClellan hearings of 1962 and 1964. See, as you can see, the United States government knew that they were going to have to deal with organized crime and gangs. Even before 1950s and 1960s, they already knew that the United States government was having a lot of problems, because as you go back to after Prohibition, you have people like Al Capone, one of the most violent criminals that the United States has ever known. But this was back in the 1920s and 30s, and so the United States government was dealing with people like him. So the United States government knew they had to, start. They had to get some laws passed to address the issue of organized crime and gangs. Now the act prohibits the creation or management of a gambling organization involving 5 or more people if it has been in business more than 30 days or accumulates $2,000 in gross revenue in a single day. It also gave grand juries new powers, permitted detention of unmanageable witnesses, and gave the United States Attorney General authorization to protect witnesses, both state and federal, and their families. Now, the last measure helped lead to the creation of WITSEC, an acronym for Witness Security. Now, part of the act created the Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act. Let's go there. The Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organization Act, commonly referred to as the RICO Act, is a United States federal law. It provides for extended criminal penalties and a civil cause of action for acts performed as part of an ongoing criminal organization. The RICO Act focuses specifically on racketeering. We're going to come back to that. And it allows the leaders, listen, pay attention. It allows the leaders of a syndicate to be tried for the crimes which they ordered others to do or assisted them in doing. That's anti-gang. And doing, closing a perceived loophole that allowed a person who instructed someone else to, for example, murder, to be exempt from the trial because he did not actually commit the crime personally. That's anti-gang. RICO was enacted by Section 901A of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970, enacted October 15, 1970, and is codified in 18 U.S. Code and 18 United States Code. G. Robert Blakely, an advisor to the United States Senate Government Operations Committee, drafted the law under the close supervision of the committee's chairman, Senator John L. McClellan. It was enacted as Title IX of the Organized Crime Control Act of 1970 and signed into law by Richard M. Nixon. While its original use in 1970 was to prosecute the mafia as well as others who were actively engaged in organized crime, its later application has been more widespread. Beginning in 1972, 33 states adopted state RICO laws to be able to prosecute similar conduct. Now, I'm not going to read all that. Now, let's go over to racketeering. A racket is a service that is fraudulently offered to solve a problem, such as for a problem that does not actually exist, that would not be put into effect, or that would not otherwise exist if the racket did not exist. Conducting a racket is racketeering. Particularly, the potential problem may be caused by the same party that offers to solve it, although the fact may be concealed with the specific intent to engender continual patronage for this party. The most common example of a racket is the protection racket. The racket itself promises to protect the target business or person from dangerous individuals in the neighborhood, then either collects their money or causes the damages to the business until the owner pays. The racket exists in both the problem and its solution, and is used as a method of extortion. Now, racketeering is often associated with organized crime, and the term was coined by the Employers Association of Chicago in June 1927 in a statement about the influence of organized crime in the Teamsters Union. Now, various examples of common racketeering activities include, but are not limited to, protection racket, fencing racket, numbers racket, money laundering, kidnapping, murder for hire, bribery, loan sharking, counterfeiting, arson and insurance fraud, embezzlement, drug trafficking, extortion, prostitution, human trafficking, people smuggling, tax evasion, bookmaking, arms trafficking, truck hijacking, cigarette smuggling, mail and wire fraud, securities fraud, mortgage fraud, and witness tampering. Okay, let me see that. Okay, let me see. Now, let me read this right. It says it said the RICO Act allowed law enforcement to charge a person or group of people with racketeering defined as committing multiple violations of certain varieties within a 10-year period. The purpose of the RICO Act was stated as the elimination of the infiltration of organized crime and racketeering into legitimate organizations operating in interstate commerce. However, the statute is sufficiently broad to encompass illegal activities related to any enterprise affecting interstate or foreign commerce. Now, so as you can see, the United States government has been trying to address and trying to eliminate the problem of organized crime and gangs. we've been talking about gang, organized crime, things of this nature, and the United States government passed laws and such as the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative, and let me go find that right. Now you can go to the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Justice Programs, and the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, the Comprehensive Anti-Gang Initiative. The proliferation of gang problems in large and small cities, suburbs, and even rural areas led to the development of a comprehensive, coordinated response to America's gang problem by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention has long supported a combination of activities, including research, evaluation, training, technical assistance, and demonstration programs aimed at combating youth gangs since the 1980s. Since the 1980s. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention has developed, funded, and evaluated community-based anti-gang programs that coordinate prevention, intervention, enforcement, and re-entry strategies. Recognizing that street gang activities transcend ages of members, in October 2009, the Office of Justice Program merged its existing resources to create a new national gang center, developing a comprehensive approach to reduce gang involvement and gang crime. The reinvigorated National Gang Center is a single, more efficient entity responsive to the needs of researchers, practitioners, and the public. The National Gang Center website features the latest research about gangs, descriptions of evidence-based anti-gang programs, and links to tools, databases, and other resources to assist in development and implement effective community-based gang prevention, intervention, and suppression strategies. There is also data analysis of the findings from nearly 20 years of data collected by the annual National Youth Gang Survey of 2,500 U.S. law enforcement agencies. Users can read and download publications related to street gangs, request training and technical assistance as they plan to implement anti-gang strategies and register for a variety of anti-gang training courses. Based on law enforcement response to the National Youth Gang Survey, nearly one-third of all responding law enforcement agencies reported gang activity in 2012. It is estimated that there were 30,700 gangs and 850,000 gang members throughout 3,100 jurisdictions with gang problems in the United States in 2012. The number of reported gang-related homicides increased 20% from 2011 to 2012. Highlights of the 2012 National Youth Gang Survey, December 2014. A national assessment of gang problem and program provided the foundation for the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Comprehensive Gang Model, a project developed in the mid-1980s. In the 1980s, its key components reflect the best features of existing and evaluated programs across the country. The model outlined 5 strategies: community mobilization, social intervention, opportunity for educational, vocational advancement, suppression and organizational change and development. As most gang members join between the ages of 12 and 15, prevention is the critical strategy within a comprehensive response to gangs that includes intervention, suppression, and reentry. The Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention collaborates with Bureau of Justice Assistance to assure that the Office of Juvenile has an array of information and resources available on gangs. The Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention. This the Office of Justice Program has an array of information and resources available on gangs. The Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention strategies to reduce gang activity in targeted neighborhoods by incorporating a broad spectrum of research-based interventions to address the range of personal, family, and community factors that contribute to juvenile delinquency and gang activity. This approach attempts to integrate federal, state, and local resources to incorporate state-of-the-art practices in prevention, intervention, and suppression. Now, there's a lot of information. There's still a lot to read. But you can go to the website, the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, and you can read about the comprehensive anti-gang initiative. And also, one of the programs that you can read about is the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. And like I said, you can go to the website, the United States Department of Justice Office of Justice Program, the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, and you can read about the comprehensive anti-gang initiative. Now, as you know, we've been continuing to, place our emphasis and our focus on the anti-gang efforts, and we've been going to the National Gang Center website, and there's a bulletin that we've been reading about, 15 pages long, and in those 15 pages there are books that are being referred to, and like I said, we've been in the introduction, and matter of fact, there are 3 books that we've been referring to, because as you know, you can't take it for granted the work that the authors of the bulletin. And the title of the bulletin is the history of street gangs in America, and also the same information that's in the bulletin can be found on Wikipedia, and you can go to Wikipedia, gangs in the United States, and you can scroll down and to the references, and you will see that there's many references to the National Gang Center. And like I say, the books that we've been referring to in the introduction, one of those books titled A History of Crime in England, Illustrating the Changes of the Laws in the Progress of Civilization, Volume 1 and Volume 2. The author of the book, Luke Owen Pike. The second book that we've been referring to, titled Hooligan, A History of Respectable Figures, and the author of that book spells his first name Geoffrey, Jeffrey Pearson. And the third book we've been referring to is titled Low Life, Lures and Snares of Old New York. And the author of that book spells his first name L-U-C and spells his last name S-A-N-T. And also the comprehensive anti-gang initiative also includes the community-oriented policing services, which is that's the Department of Justice, and also the Project Safe Neighborhoods through the Bureau of Justice Assistance. And also the United States Attorney General, United States Attorney General, has a law in the book, 1457, the Criminal Street Gang Statute. That's United States Code 521. And also gang prevention, an overview of research and programs, the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention. Let's go over into a great program. A great program. Go to the website. Great Gang Resistance Education and Training. What is great? The Gang Resistance Education and Training Program is an evidence-based national and international gang and violence prevention program that has been building trust between law enforcement and community for almost 30 years. Great is intended as an immunization against delinquency, youth violence, and gang membership. It is designed for children in the years immediately before the prime age for introduction into gangs and delinquent behavior. The GREAT program built around school-based law enforcement officer instructed classroom curriculum. It provides a component for children and their families. These components include a 13-lesson middle school curriculum, a 6-lesson elementary school curriculum, a summer component, and a families component. That's a lot. That's the GREAT program. Includes it's a 13-lesson middle school curriculum, a 6-lesson elementary school curriculum in elementary school, a summer component, and a families component. More than 13,000 sworn officers from around the United States and various Central American countries have been trained and certified to teach the GREAT curriculum. The GREAT curriculum have been delivered to the more than 6 million children, allowing law enforcement to foster strong relationships with these students as well as their schools and communities. Since its inception, GREAT has developed partnerships with nationally recognized organizations such as the Boys and Girls Club of America, incorporate families and schools together, and the National Association of Police Athletic Activities League, incorporate. These partnerships encourage positive collaboration among the community. here, schools and law enforcement. Now let's go over here to the history. The Phoenix, Arizona Police Department, along with local educators and community leaders, received federal funds appropriated from Congress to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms for the development and implementation of a school-based gang prevention pilot program. The program was designed to reduce gang activity by having law enforcement personnel teach life skills to middle school students to help them resist the pressure to join gangs. This thinking led the Phoenix Police Department to the development of the Gang Resistance Education and Training Program in 1991. In April 1992, the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Phoenix Police Department entered into a cooperative agreement to facilitate the national expansion of the GREAT program. In August 1992, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center joined the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and the Phoenix Police Department to expand the program nationally, providing the programmatic support required to train great instructors. Great expanded with surprise speed over the next few years. By 1995, the program had trained 1,859 law enforcement officers and taught more than 500,000 middle school students. That same year, the University of Nebraska Omaha began an in-depth 5-year longitudinal evaluation of the program. The study showed significant positive effects for students completing the training, but did not clearly demonstrate that the program would meet its goal for reduction in gang joining. This led program leadership to take a hard look at what was needed to improve effectiveness. 1998, the program added the Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Office, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Police Department, Lacrosse, Wisconsin Police Department, and Portland, Oregon Police Bureau to the Phoenix Police Department to assist in administering the program and serve as regional training center. This regional lineup remained the same until 2009 when it was changed to the current regional training center alignment. During 1999-2000, GREAT underwent an extensive multidisciplinary program curriculum review. The objective was to ensure program adherence to the latest scientific supported data regarding prevention and educational research and theory. The new curriculum was set to pilot in 14 cities nationwide in 2001 and universally implemented beginning in 2003. 2004, the administration and oversight of the GREAT program was transferred from the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms to the U.S. Department of Justice. The Office of Justice Program, which assigned operational control to the Bureau of Justice Assistance. The Bureau of Justice Assistance awarded a grant to the Institute for Intergovernmental Research to provide national training coordination services and related tasks. The Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center continue to work closely with the Bureau of Justice Assistance and the Institute for Intergovernmental Research and to participate in the administration of the program. 2006, a second evaluation was commissioned to assess the redesigned curriculum implemented in 2003 to determine whether the changes increase program effectiveness. To read about the results of the national evaluation of the GREAT program, click the link, Evaluation of GREAT. In 2009, the Bureau of International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs, the United States Department of State, partnered with GREAT to introduce the GREAT program in Central America. The region is plagued by an epidemic of gang growth that has become transnational scope, influenced by strong migration, deportation, and repatriation patterns that make this a shared problem with the United States. The program has spread rapidly throughout Central America, adding an eagerly received prevention component to anti-gang efforts in the region. In 2011, the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention became an active partner in the GREAT national effort, assuming from the Bureau of Justice the responsibility for providing the funds needed to support the training of GREAT instructors and provide up-to-date materials to instructors and students. It's a great program. Now let's go over to youth.gov. Now let's go up here to the box of it, youth.gov. And let me see, select youth topic, then go to the box of the drop down box. From after school program all the way to violence prevention. See, this is how you know people don't be knowing what they talking about. You can just look at that drop down box. I know you don't know that. You can look at the GREAT program. See all them instructors. You see the United States federal government, the Department of Justice, the Office of Juvenile Justice. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's go over to gang involvement prevention. Click go. To be going around running off at the mouth. Preventing youth involvement in gangs is an important issue compared to non-gang members. Gang members commit a disproportionate amount of violent crimes and offenses across the country. Gangs and gang involvement result in short and long-term negative outcomes for gang-involved youth, their friends and family. In the surrounding community, gangs are typically defined in groups having the following characteristics: forming organization structure, identified leadership, identified territory, recurrent interaction, involvement in serious or violent behavior. In an effort to replace older adult gang members who are incarcerated, gangs often try to recruit youth. Youth often succumb to these efforts at early ages because of their vulnerability and susceptibility to recruitment tactics. As a result, it is necessary to begin prevention efforts at a young age, identify risk and protective factors for gang involvement, and utilize a comprehensive approach that involves multiple sectors and disciplines working together. Justice, education, labor, social service, public health, and safety, businesses, philanthropic organizations, faith-based organizations, and other youth, family, and community serving groups. Now, let's go over here to the right over here where it says gang involvement prevention, federal data, risk and protective factors, adverse effects, girls, juvenile delinquency, and gang prevention efforts. Click prevention efforts. Prevention efforts. The prevention efforts targeted at limiting youth involvement in gangs is integral to promoting optimal individual and community well-being, specifically in those areas that are susceptible to gang activity. In recent years, there has been an emphasis placed on evaluating gang prevention programs to discern effective approaches and provide a more comprehensive approach. The comprehensive gang model, developed by the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, focuses on community prevention and intervention and balance with law enforcement suppression activity. The model involves 5 strategies for responding to gang-involved youth and their families. These include community mobilization and involvement. Local citizens include former gang members and community groups and agencies, and the coordination of programs and staff function within and across agencies. Opportunities to prevent the development of a variety of specific education, training, and employment programs targeting gang-involved youth. Social intervention, youth service agencies, schools, street outreach workers, grassroots groups, faith-based organizations, law enforcement agencies, and other criminal justice organizations reaching out and acting as links between gang-involved youth and their family, the conventional world, and needed service suppression. Formal and informal social control procedures, including close supervision or monitoring gang youth by agencies of the criminal justice system, and also by community-based agencies, schools, and grassroots groups. Organizational change and development and implementation of policy and procedures that result in the most effective use of available and potential resources to better address the gang problem. An important facet to implement the comprehensive gang model in the community is to first assess the youth gang problem. This assessment includes collecting quantitative and qualitative data from community representatives such as law enforcement, school faculty, youth, parents, community leaders, probation officers, gang members, grassroots organizations, and local government. Data collected includes the percentage of the gang problem, as well as what the community considers priority needs, such as tutoring, jobs, training, increased police presence, and mentoring for youth. Properly assessing a community gang problem significantly improve the development of an implementation plan. The plan should include goals and objectives based on the assessed findings and should address the 5 core strategies previously described. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Comprehensive Gang Model Guide details the steps required for assessment and provide the necessary data collection tool. Now, as you know, that's a PDF. The Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Comprehensive Game Model Guide. That's a PDF. Now let's go over here to and go back up here to the top where it says select youth topics. Scroll all the way down where it says violence prevention. Click go. And then you'll see the National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention. Then you'll see the introduction. Then click where it says learn more about the National Forum. The National Forum on Youth Violence Prevention is a network of communities and federal agencies that work together, share information and build local capacity to prevent and reduce youth violence. Established in the direction of President Obama in 2010, the forum brings together people from diverse professions and perspectives to learn from each other about the crisis of youth and gang violence in the United States and to build comprehensive solutions on the local and national level. Now, participating federal agencies include, pay attention, because you don't know what you're talking about. The sorority and the fraternity, the secret societies, the houses of worship. Participating federal agencies include the Departments of Justice. That's the big Department of Justice. There's a whole lot of people in the Department of Justice, and they know about the Constitution. The Department of Education, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Housing and Urban Development, the Department of Labor, and the Office on National Drug Control Policy. They all know about the Constitution. The communities participating in the forum include Boston, Camden, Chicago, Detroit, Memphis, Minneapolis, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Salinas, San Jose, Long Beach, Cleveland, Louisville, Seattle, and Baltimore. Other participants include faith and community-based organizations, youth and family groups, and business and philanthropic leaders. The forum operates on three key principles. Multidisciplinary partnerships are key to tackling this complex issue. Police, educators, public health, and other service providers, faith and community leaders, parents, and kids must all be at the table. Communities must balance and coordinate the prevention, intervention, enforcement, and reentry strategies. Data and evidence-driven strategies must inform efforts to reduce youth violence in our community, in our country. These three principles are critical to directing and leveraging limited resources in order to make a long-standing impact. The forum has three goals: elevate youth and gang violence as an issue of national significance, enhance the capacity of participating localities as well as others across the country to more effectively prevent youth and gang violence, sustain progress and system change through engagement, alignment, and assessment. The forum launched officially in October 2010 at a working session in Washington, D.C. at the session teams from the cities of Boston, Chicago, Detroit, Memphis, Salinas, California, and San Jose, California, met with federal agencies and each other to share information and experience about what works in preventing youth and gang violence. Each city pledged to develop or enhance comprehensive plans to prevent youth and gang violence in their city, using multidisciplinary partnerships, balanced approach, and data-driven strategies. Since then, the comprehensive plans have been developed as pledged and currently being implemented. These plans aim to reduce violence, improve opportunity for youth, and encourage innovation at the local and federal level. The forum has brought participating cities together in Washington on a regular basis, holding 2 annual national summits on preventing youth violence, as well as annual working session, the third of which was held on December 10 and 11, 2012. In fall 2012, the forum added 4 new cities: Camden, Minneapolis, New Orleans, and Philadelphia, and added services so that any city interested in adopting the forum's comprehensive approach could do so. The forum published a toolkit for those interested in creating comprehensive plans in their own community, with additional training and technical assistance available for interested localities. The forum also published a guide to engage in business and philanthropic partners in community-based violence prevention. The third annual summit on preventing youth violence was held September September 26, 27, 2013, Arlington, Virginia. The summit brought together 375 Americans from the nation's highest law enforcement to school superintendents to share their passions about child welfare. Representatives from 10 former cities, 13 defending childhood initiative grantees, 15 community-based violence prevention program grantees, and 3 grantees from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, striving to reduce youth violence everywhere. Initiative participated. Other participants include United States Attorney General Eric Holder, United States Department of Education Secretary Arn Duncan, White House officials, U.S. attorneys, mayors, chiefs of police, public health commissioners, and school superintendents from across the country. Learn more about the forum by reading this collaboration profile, reviewing its logic model, and reading the results of the forum. Independent assessment, visit the forum in the news to view media coverage about the forum and participate community. So as you can see, for everybody that's listening, you see that the United States federal government is doing all that they can to eliminate, to get rid of organized crime and gangs, especially with the young people, Now, and as you can see, there are many people that you be talking about being members of a gang, they don't know what they're talking about. As you can see, they don't know what they're talking about. As you can see, a lot of those people that join the sororities, join the fraternity, they didn't know what they talking about then, and they don't know what they talking about now. The secret societies, they ain't know what they talking about. They don't know what they talking. And the houses of worship, are you serious? The houses of worship, are you serious? Are you serious? You do not know what you're talking about. I know from personal experience. When I think about going to church, I can think about all the people in church. I know for a fact that the people in the house work, they don't know what they talking about. They do not know that all these African American women and men sitting up in the house of worship who were educated before Brown versus educated. Are you serious? I know from personal experience, I know for a fact they do not know what they're talking about. And the people who were educated after Brown versus education, I know they don't know what they're talking about. I know. They do not know what they're talking about. We're talking about they in a gang. You don't know what you're talking about. Get somewhere and sit down and keep your mouth closed. Get somewhere and sit down and keep your mouth closed. It's going to get personal. It's going to get personal. It will get personal. It's already personal. Let me while we on the computer here, while we online, let's go over to 1974. It's going to get personal. Now, we're over on the website, the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention, and it says program summary. Now, what I be doing is so everybody listening, they might not be able to find, but what you do is when you be online, go to Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention and National Youth Gang Center, and then click, go in. It'll come up to program summary. You'll see overview, programs and funding. You'll see the title program summary. Then it'll say National Gang Center. But what we're looking at is go to the top where it says about. Go to the top where it says about. The Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention. You'll see vision and mission, you see legislation, Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act. That's when we click right there. Let me go back first. Let me go back right before I go there. Let me read this right here about the overview. In October 2009, the National Youth Gang Center, which had been funded by the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention since 1995, merged with the National Gang Center, which had been funded by the Bureau of Justice Assistance since 2003. This new partnership recognized that street gang activity transcends ages of the members and that a balanced, comprehensive approach is needed to reduce gang involvement and levels of gang crime. Consolidation of the center has leveraged resources resulting in a single, more efficient entity responsive to the needs of researchers, practitioners, and the public. Now let's go over here to legislation. It's very important. Authorizing legislation. Congress enacted the Juvenile Justice. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Juvenile justice and delinquency prevention. You don't know what you're talking about. In 1974, it's gonna get personal. It's personal. 1974 is personal. This landmark legislation established the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention to support local and state efforts to prevent delinquency and improve the juvenile justice system. On November 2nd, 2002, Congress reauthorized the Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act. The reauthorization, the 21st Century Department of Justice Appropriation Authorization Act, supports the Office of Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention established mission while introducing important changes that streamline the office's operation and bring a sharper focus to its role. The provision of the reauthorization took effect in fiscal year 2004. Now, for all those listening, you want to look up the law, the Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention. You can go to let me see here. That's United States Code 5601, and this publication number 93 through 1542. United States Code 5601. So you can go and read about the Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act. In fact, let me see this out. Now, you can't go to Wikipedia. You just look up Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act. Then you can also go to juvenilejustice.org. Now, let me go over here. Okay, so you can go to Wikipedia. The United States federal law provides funds to states that follow a state series of federal protections known as the core protection on the care and treatment of youth in the justice system. The four core protections of the Act are the institutionalization of status offenders and non-offenders require that youth who are runaway, truants, or curfew violators cannot be detained in juvenile detention facility or adult jails. Sight and sound separation protecting disallowed contact between juvenile and adult offenders. If juveniles are put in an adult jail or locked up under the limited circumstance the law allows for, they must be separated from adult inmates. Jail removal. This allows the placement of youth in adult jails and lockups except under very limited circumstances. Disproportionate minority confinement requires states to address the issue of over-representation of youth of color in the justice system. DOS and sight and sound protection were part of the original law in 1974. The jail removal provision was added in 1980 in response to finding youth incarcerated adult facility resulting in a high suicide rate, physical, mental, and sexual assault, inadequate care and program, negative labeling, and exposure to serious offenders and mental patients. The DMC requirement was added in the JJDPA in 1992. Then talks about the reauthorization took place in 2002. And so I refer everybody. You can go to Wikipedia and you can read about the Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act, and also you can go to juvenilejustice.org. See, it gets personal. It gets personal. People be walking around talking about they got the sorority and fraternity be on the street level, the secret society, and then in the house of worship, sitting up in the house of worship, talking about you a gang member. In the house of worship, you a gang member. You don't know what you're talking about. See what I'm talking about? The Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention Act. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. But you can go to www.jujustice.org, Federal Policy, Juvenile Justice Delinquency Prevention Act. And so, don't know what you're talking about. You know, talking about you got freedom of assembly, freedom of speech, and freedom of expression. You know, see on the street level, you know, that was the sorority, fraternity, and the secret society, and the house of worship. That what they try to use as a way to recruit or to keep people in the game. Now, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, they have a program preventing gang membership, and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention also have a program, the Injury Prevention and Control Division of Violence Prevention. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention also, in coordination with the National Institute of Justice and the Office of Justice Program, changing course, preventing youth from joining gangs, and also the anti-gang strategy, that's the National Institute of Justice, prevention, intervention, assessment, and suppression, and also the Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the National Gang Intelligence Center, and also the Department of Justice, the Organized Crime and Gang Section, as well as other federal, state, and local agencies, the National Gang Center. And the National Gang Center has the compilation of state laws against gangs. So when we talk about the Constitution, we know that the United States of America has a Constitution, but each state, all 50 states, have a Constitution. So when you be talking about, when the sororities and the fraternities and the secret society, house of worship, all 50 states have a Constitution. So the United States government, the United States government has a Constitution. All 50 states have a Constitution. When you be talking about freedom of assembly and freedom of expression and freedom of expression and speech and all that, the National Gang Center, and the National Gang Center has a compilation of state laws against gangs. And we continue to look at these words that the gang of organized crime use, and we get the etymology of the words, such as gang and gangster, mob and monster, thug, goon, hooligan, ruffian, boss. There's all kind of terminology and words that the gang and organized crime use. And like I said, we get the etymology on the word. How you gonna sit up in a house of worship? How you gonna sit up in a house of worship talking about you a thug and you a goon? How you gonna worship God How is you gonna worship God? Huh? That is totally contrary and contradictory to being, to be a worshiper of a God. You're gonna worship God. You're gonna worship God with a pure heart. You want to be a gangster, a mob. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. Some of that how the criminal gonna sit up in the house. When they pass the collection plate around, you a criminal. People put their collect. For example, people in being a house of worship. Uh, some people might be Muslim or what they call them, the Black Hebrew Israelites. Well, let's just, for example, Christian churches. They pass the collection plate around, and you got a gangster up in the house of worship. Soon the collection plate come around, you got a criminal in the house of worship. Didn't know what this criminal gonna do? This criminal gonna be like you say, he a gangster. He or she is a gangster. They gonna steal the money. They gonna steal the money, and all the other stuff they'll do. You see them little girls and little boys in the house of worship. See, you'll do that too. You know what I'm talking about. You'll do that too because you're a criminal. You'll do that too with the little girls and little boys. You'll do that too in the house of worship. See, you see the women, you see the men, you do that too. You'll rob them. You'll be out there in the parking lot. The same members of the house of worship, you'll get robbed by the house of worship, by the same member. He a gangster. He or she is a gangster. They'll sell you drugs because you're a gangster. You're a mobster. You're a goon. You're a thug in the house of worship. See, you'll do all kind of stuff. You'll commit all kind of crimes. You commit all kind of crimes because that's what you are. You're a criminal. And also, there's a non-profit organization, the National Crime Prevention Council. National Crime Prevention Council. That's McGruff. Take a bite out of crime. And they have a program. Uh, and also, they in coordination with the federal government. They're in coordination with the United States federal government, the Department of Justice, the Bureau of Justice Assistance. Uh, the program is keeping kids out of gangs. Keeping kids out of gangs. See, don't let nobody tell you there's nothing wrong being in a gang. When you see that the United States federal government, as well as state and local governments, and they showing you that they trying to do something to eliminate gangs and prevent violence, they telling you it's wrong. They telling you it's wrong. In the house of worship, it's wrong. It's wrong. Secret society is wrong. Sorority, fraternity, gangs, organized crime, wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. See, it gets personal. It gets personal. I look, like I said, I look at my own personal life. I look at my life, elementary school, junior high school, even after high school. Gangs have been a negative impact on my life. Gangs have been a negative impact on my life. It gets personal. It's personal. It's personal. I tell you, it's personal. Like I said on my last video, you know, it's personal, man. It's personal. It's personal. I don't like taking it. I don't want to take nothing off no game member. I don't want to take nothing. And the things that I had to think about. I think about a whole lot of things. I think about my ex-girlfriends and people that I knew. I think about all that in my life, in my personal life. my life has been negatively affected. I have been negatively affected by gangs, and I don't like it, and I don't like taking it. See, it's a lot of things that I want to, want to get understood. See, it's wrong. First of all, it's wrong. Gangs are wrong. Gangs are wrong. Always have been. It was wrong yesterday. It's wrong today. It's gonna be wrong tomorrow. See, there's people that like when I be on my job or the jobs I had in the past, there were people walking around in gangs, and they still walking. Then you see all this information online. That's what people be on Facebook, they be on Twitter, they be on Instagram, but yet still you don't see all the information online. It's getting personal. See, it gets personal. See, that's what I showed my family in Chicago. See, my family live in Chicago, and I don't like nobody walking around taking me for a fool, make me look like I'm a fool. All that information online, just like we just got to read. All that information, great program. Youth.gov. Hell, Wikipedia is online. Then you got somebody walking around trying to recruit me as well as little girls and little boys. Talking about they in a sorority, in a fraternity, they in a secret society, in a house of worship. It's wrong. It's personal. It's personal. I'm gonna get ready to end today's video. Again, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis. It's in the county of Shelby. It's in the state of Tennessee. Thank all my fans, my support for your continued encouragement, support. To my next video, take care of yourself. I wish each and every one of you the best.